Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutted, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam, put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Start Sit Show here on South Harmon. As always, joined by Matt and T-Rock. And down below is the injury news for the day. So there's been quite a bit of injury news here over the last hour or so. So if you have George Pickens, he is out. So if you have George Pickens in your lineup, make sure you get him out. Dalton Kincaid, he's going to be most likely doubtful. Lad McConkey tonight is 50-50 truly. Malik Neighbors, he's in, but is going to be limited. I personally am sitting him in all of my leagues. It sounds like not very good, and it's the fucking Giants. They're a fucking train wreck, so we're not playing them. But yeah, the rest of these start sits are out down there. Breece Hall, Ken Walker, all those guys are out too. So crazy week 14 here. Plus with 6 teams on bye. And we're all trying to make our fantasy playoffs. So it is really crazy right now. Yeah. So how are you guys doing today?
Oh, not too bad. I ate a lot of pizza last night, drank a lot of booze, but
nice.
Yeah, we're here. Fizz has got this background ready for me. It looks pretty freaking clean. I don't know what you
I see that.
Looks
yeah.
clean, man.
I mean, if it wasn't the fucking Ravens, it'd be nice, but
Yep.
Oh, the color scheme's pretty good, so you can't go wrong.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for
all right. Yeah, so yeah, week 14, guys, it is really crunch time right now. Got to get into your playoffs, lock up that number 1 seed, so we are here to help you out. Remember, if you have any pressing questions that need answered right away, Super Chat is the best way. We'll get you right to the front of the line. If not, we'll just go through question by question here as we go. So Flowosaurus is in here. What's going on? Tony, DB. Flowosaurus has one here for us. Starts off. Same question every week, but need 2 to start in a 4-point passing touchdown league. Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, and Matthew Stafford. So, T-Rock, fire us off, buddy.
All right. So I have Russ at 12. I have Geno at 13, and I have Stafford at 17. So I would start Russ and Geno ahead of Stafford.
Now, does that change with Pickens being out now?
Oh, man, yeah. I don't know if it changes 5 positions because I don't know. Maybe we could talk through Russ and Stafford, but definitely I'm going to play Geno. What do you guys think?
Let's start with Matt. Who you got? Yeah, you got the same.
I had the same order that he did. So Russell Wilson, I think he's been on fire. And then, Eric, I think that is a phenomenal question. Obviously, with Pickens being out, that just broke, 40 minutes ago, an hour ago, not even. Yeah, I mean, I had them a little bit closer, but definitely Stafford was the third one. With Pickens being out, I actually probably do Geno and Stafford, just giving Stafford a little bit more of an edge with Pickens being out. I think Pickens, obviously, there's been a lot of issues with him in that offense. He's been crybaby and a little biatch, but he still can garner points. So I probably knock him down a little bit. I didn't have him 5 spots different, so I guess that's kind of the question that is really T-Rock's, kind of up for debate. Does it drop him 5 spots or maybe 2 or 3? I could see it dropping, Wilson 3 spots, but I don't know about 5. That's a pretty big drop. Who else did you have in between them? Let's talk through that.
So I have Herbert at 14, Caleb at 15, Jameis at 16. So,
okay.
I think it's a tough matchup. Both games, both quarterbacks, as far as Stafford's going up against the Bills. I mean, they've been really, really good, and the Browns are a division rival with the Steelers. They kind of held them in check, or at least kept it very close. Russell did not have the best game against the Browns a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I mean, he did have a really good game, but usually interdivision games are usually very tight and low scoring.
Yeah.
So I was going to say that could also be part of it too. With Pickens out and low scoring divisional matchup, it is at Pittsburgh, and Stafford's going to be at home indoors. What do you think, Eric?
I think I'm leaning with Geno and Stafford. Geno's been throwing the ball quite a bit this year, and Stafford, he has Puka and Cup healthy. So that gives me confidence in him. I mean, Russ is throwing
at home.
Like Calvin Austin's his number one fucking receiver in Freiermuth. So I could see the Steelers leaning on the run a little bit more today, or that just being a lower scoring game in general. So I'm going to go Geno and Stafford personally on this one.
Yeah, maybe not to overthink it too much. I know it's a harder matchup with Buffalo, but I'm probably going to that same.
Yeah, but it's not like Buffalo has any lockdown corners or anything. So it's Puka and Cooper.
That and they're going to have to keep up with Buffalo too. You got to think about it that way too.
Right.
Buffalo's going to be scoring points, so they're going to have to keep up. Versus Cleveland, it's going to be like, I mean, Pittsburgh can still play that game and run a lot. So
they don't have any lockdown corners, but as a unit, they're one of the best in the league. So yeah.
Elo has one. Calvin Austin versus Nick Chubb, flex in a PPR league. So, Matt, we'll start off with you on this one. Who you like?
I mean, normally this is kind of jokeable or laughable, I guess you could say, but we just talked about Pickens being out. Calvin Austin's going to be number one. He's proven a few games this season where he can ball out. Nick Chubb has not looked the same since he came back. I mean, I don't know what we expected with such a serious knee injury. So I would go Calvin Austin personally, PPR especially.
All right, T-Rock?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nick Chubb. I'm just going to usually lean the running back this year, just the way this year is gone. I have Nick Chubb at 26. I have Calvin Austin. I mean, this is after that news, but he was my wide receiver 49. So I'm just going to go with the 27th running back over the 49th wide receiver.
Yep, and I'm going to go Calvin Austin. Him and Russell Wilson have a really good connection going. I think he has 3 of his highest scoring games of his career in the last 4 weeks with Russell Wilson. So Russ is looking for him deep down the field. Russ likes to throw those fucking moon balls. So I'm going to go with Calvin Austin on this one. He did have a touchdown against the Browns a couple weeks ago in that snow game too. So
you think Hayden's going to be on him this week then, since Pickens is out?
Yeah, Joe Hayden retired about 4 or 5 years ago.
Sorry, not Hayden. Frickin' forget it. Never mind. Just move on. You know what I'm talking about. Denzel Ward.
I mean, Austin plays in the slot. Ward doesn't really move to the slot. Newsome does. But Denzel Ward and Newsome both fucking suck. So, no, I'm not scared of those guys. Dang. All right. Rico Dowdle or James Conner here from Landry. So, who you got on this one, T-Rock?
I have Rico at 13, and I have James Conner at 8. So I'm going to go with James Conner here.
Okay. And Matt?
I want to say Conner. He hasn't looked that great, though, the past couple of weeks, but they've been against very tough matchups. So lean Conner.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, this one is really tough. I bet you these guys would probably be back-to-back in some rankings. Rico has been really, really good lately. I think I'm going to use, he's in the chat, the fizzle rule here. I'm going to go with the later guy. I'm going to go Rico, the Monday night guy. He's been playing really, really well the last 2 weeks. The Bengals defense is a sieve. I mean, we just saw what the Steelers just did to them last week. Like, the Steelers have won 2 games this year without scoring a touchdown, and they just put up 44 on them. So I'm going to go Rico Dowdle here. All right, next one up. Jen has one for us. PPR sit one. Tracy, Najee, DK, JSN, Lamb, and Marvin Harrison Jr. My quarterback choices are Kyler and Geno, leaning Kyler. So I'm guessing we're going to answer both questions there. So sit one out of that group, and then which quarterback are you going with? So, Matt, we'll start off with you.
I mean, that's a good list. I would say Marvin Harrison. He's kind of the odd one out for me. Like the running backs, excuse me. And then you got DK and JSN. Lamb, I mean, obviously Lamb has had a very challenging season, especially with the quarterback change. and everything going on there. But Marvin Harrison has also been super inconsistent. So that's the outlier for me. QB choices are Kyler and Geno. Let me pass it over to.
I mean, if you're sitting
T.
Marvin, I would sit Kyler then.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah, Kyler.
Yeah. Go ahead, T-Rock.
I want to sit Tracy. I know that he's probably going to get the majority of the touches, but I think that can easily also happen with Najee Harris, and I definitely want to get at least one of these running backs in. I like all these wide receivers. I have them, all these wide receivers except Marvin Harrison Jr. in the top 12. So it's between Marvin Harrison and Tracy for me. With the quarterback, that's probably going to be the thing that helps me with this. I have Kyler at 8, and I have Geno at 13. So I'm probably going to play all the wide receivers, sit Tracy, play Kyler. That's what I'm going to do. So I hope that helps, Jen.
I'm with T-Rock on this one. I'm going to sit Tyrone Tracy. Devin Singletary did get in there a little bit more last week, too. So I'm afraid of that. Plus, it's the Giants, and Drew Lock is starting again, which is terrible. So I'm going to sit Tracy on that question, and then I'm probably starting Kyler as well over Geno. I think Kyler at home, I like him a little bit better. So I'm going to go with that one. Bruce has one for us. What are you doing with Neighbors? Rumors is that he may only play in a limited capacity. Would you start a safer wide receiver 4 over him? Yes. So I am sitting Neighbors pretty much everywhere that I have him. Like I put in Calvin Austin over him. So like if that's, a wide receiver 4 that you're considering, like Calvin Austin, I would play over Neighbors personally. What are you guys thinking?
Agreed.
Yeah,
too risky. That offense is obviously
Yeah. Plus, this is go
Shitty
time. Like I can't. Yeah, I
You
can't
can't
have a
risk it.
limited guy that might have 2 catches in there. So
even fully healthy, he's like, how many top 12 performances has he had over the last month?
yeah, he's been very frustrated with that offense too. Like he's like ready to stab Dable in the fucking eye with an ice pick or something. He saw what he looks like. So
Bury him in the end zone. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So
I just pulled up his best finish since week 4 is wide receiver 26. So
yeah,
he's been
yeah.
bad.
So I'm sitting Neighbors. I
Welcome to
feel
the bench.
comfortable. Who are some guys that maybe you'd consider over him? I threw Calvin Austin out there. Do you guys have any other guys? Like, would you play Trey Tucker from the Raiders over him with Jacoby Myers a little bang up?
I don't know if it go that. Trey Tucker is at 53 for me. I think the most underperforming wide receiver I'd play.
Someone asked
probably,
Debo over Neighbors. I would probably go Debo.
Yeah, I'd go Debo.
Yes.
I'd probably go Amari Rome. That's probably
Rome's a
like
good
in the 40s. That's probably as low as I'm going to go. And, wide receiver 4.
I do like Trey Tucker a little bit against Tampa. Their secondary is pretty shit, and that's how you beat them. So I could see him getting a long touchdown too. So
Darnell Mooney would play over him.
yeah, Mooney.
Yeah,
Darnell Mooney's
definitely.
phenomenal.
NWI, MVS, probably. Yeah.
Westbrook Akine, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Touchdown machine.
Yeah.
All right, Rob has one here for us. Start one in a flex spot. Garendo, Thielen, Waddle, Elijah Moore, Braylon Allen in a full PPR league. Got to pick one of these gentlemen. So, Matt, who are you picking out of that? Garendo. Okay.
Garendo.
And T-Rock?
Let me see where I have Thielen and Waddle. Thielen I have at 35. Waddle I have at 30. And Elijah Moore is definitely below that. Yeah, so I'd probably go Garendo as well. I have him at running back 18 this week.
Yeah, it's between Garendo and Waddle for me. I think I'm going to lean Garendo, but I could see Waddle having a good game. Sauce Gardner's out this week. Jets are just falling apart. That team is like ready to all quit. So
the Bears defense is horrible against the run. I mean, honestly, look at
Yeah.
the teams that they played the past 2 or 3 weeks. All they do is run right up their middle, and they can't stop anything. So I could see Garendo having a monster game.
But I'll probably
Yeah.
go Braylon Allen. He'd probably be my second choice, actually. I mean, he's probably going to get the majority of the touches, him and Isaiah Davis for the Jets this
Right.
week.
yeah, I think I'd go Garendo and Waddle would be my top 2. But all right, Adam is asking one. Fellas, are we waiting on Ladd? I am not. No, I am going to play somebody over him unless I have like Xavier
Everybody on
Worthy. Yeah, do I have Xavier Worthy on my bench? Would you play Osavas? Would you wait for Osavas, or and Sion Ladd? What would you guys do there?
I think it depends what your other players that
Bench
you
looks
could
like.
play on Sunday night or Monday night. Because I have Ladd at 19. Like he's been so good over the last month. Um, but he
What
has
if you
his
have Brandon Cooks on Monday night or Osavas?
yeah.
Oshawatz, I could see.
I could probably play either of those two and be okay with it in a flex position. I think Lab would be worth waiting for if you had those two guys, especially Brian
Yeah,
Cooks the last 2 weeks.
I think the key is if
Go
you
ahead.
get an option later in the
Yeah.
games to play over Lad, then it's worth waiting. If you don't, I would not just hold Lad and put him in a position, hoping that he's going to play. If you've got somebody in the back end, it's Sunday night or Monday night, then it's worth waiting for. Otherwise, you can't risk it to get a zero.
I kind of wonder, like a lot of coaches, like today in particular, are sitting lots of players. I kind of wonder if they're just, I don't know, waiting to see what the last stretch of the season. They're trying to play more
Well, I,
conservative.
I
with
think
it.
a lot of these guys are legit hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
McConkey's dealing with 2 injuries. Kincaid's been out with a couple weeks here. Neighbors has multiple injuries. Walker
Yeah,
and
team
Brees Hall
sucks,
have
too.
multiple injuries. Yeah, so I mean, I think these are all legit injuries.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, next one up here. Pick one: Braylon Allen, Tyrone Tracy, Jacoby Myers, DeAndre Hopkins, or Adam Thielen for a flex in PPR. So, T-Rock, we'll fire it off here with you. Pick one out of this group because these guys are probably all. You could throw a blanket over them on your rankings. They're probably that
Yeah.
close. So,
Yeah, that
I
close.
I just said it a little bit earlier. Braylon Allen I have at 22, and none of these wide receivers I have in the top 20. So it's between him and Tracy. I have Tyrone Tracy at 20. So they're very close. I'm probably leaning towards Tracy though. I don't know who else they're going to go to besides him and Wandell Robinson.
all right, and Matt.
Yeah, for me, it was between Tracy and Jacoby Myers. But I agree, leaning towards Tracy. I think they're close. I mean, Eric, I think you hit it perfectly. I think a couple of these are 5-10 spots apart, which is not that many considering the points.
Yeah,
But
I
Tracy.
don't love. I mean, Thielen has an okay matchup, but I just don't know if Bryce Young's going to have all day to throw. So that's what worries me there.
Yeah.
Hopkins has been like hit or miss. Like there's some really good games, there's some bad games. Like I don't know if he has a good game. Tracy, that whole team just scares the shit out of me. Braylon Allen, that team's like just quit, so he scares me. I'm leaning Jacoby Myers. That guy's been getting targeted a shit ton. And they're going up against Tampa Bay secondary, so I'm gonna go Jacoby Myers out of this group.
Yeah, I was just looking at the totals. The Buccaneers and Raiders have a 47 total compared to the Giants and Saints that have a 41. So I think they're projecting
That's 41. I was thinking it was like 21. Jesus.
it might actually be like 21.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's
so
close.
yeah, it definitely really close, but I'm gonna lean Jacoby in a full PPR league for me.
Yeah, he's my second, so I could easily see that.
All right. Jonathan has one. Start 2 out of Swift, Pacheco, Braylon Allen, Jawan Jennings, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Warren. Also, thoughts on playing Calcaterra this week. Thanks. All right. Go ahead, Matt. Who you got here with your start 2?
Swift scares me. He's injured. Also, that Bears offense has looked good at times, but they've been passing a lot more than they've been running. And again, he's still listed as questionable the whole entire week. It looks like he will play, but it still concerns me. Pacheco, I didn't like the usage with him returning. So again, it concerns me. So if I were to pick 2, Jawan Jennings and Braylon Allen would be the 2. Worthy, I think, is just too hit or miss, and then Warren is just sharing too much of that offense. And then I do like playing Calcaterra. It depends on who you're sitting. So that's kind of a loaded question, I guess, but it depends on what tight end you'd be sitting to play him. But I do like him this week.
All right. T-Rock.
So I'm going to go with Pacheco, and it's very close between Braylon Allen and Jawan Jennings for me. I kind of just want to play Jawan Jennings. Yeah, I'm going to go with those two because I'm not sure what Braylon Allen's going to look like with just the full load, on his shoulders. So he's looked really good when he's gotten in there with Brees Hall, but I'm not sure what he's going to look like by himself.
And then I'm gonna go Pacheco and Jennings as well. I think Pacheco they're gonna ramp him up. Kareem Hunt was getting sat there in the second half, and Pacheco was playing more. He's a more explosive back, so I'm going to go Pacheco in this one.
Yeah.
Jennings, like Brock Purdy and him have a great chemistry together.
Mm-hmm.
Debo's been dog shit lately. Rookie running back in there, they're not going to throw the ball to him a lot either. So I'm going to go Jennings for sure and Pacheco. And then Calcaterra, I mean, he's had a couple of decent games. Like, I think his best game on the year is 5 for 50, so 10 points. If you feel like that's good enough, sure, but I don't know how much they're going to need to throw to the tight ends in this one. So I could see Calcaterra getting you like 6, 7 points. Like, if that's enough for you, sure. But I probably would lean towards somebody else if I could.
Yeah, if Dawson Knox or Juwan is still on waivers, I'd probably play them.
I agree with you. All right, Fizz has one for us. Pick 2 out of Cup: Devontae Smith, Jordan Addison, and Marvin Harrison Jr. So Matt, which 2 do you have here?
I mean, Cooper Kupp's a smash. So I'd play him against Buffalo again. And I know we talked about this earlier. The defense for Buffalo is decent. Sorry, my dog just is making a lot of noise in the background. But you can't see Cooper Kupp. And then so that'd be between Smitty and Marv, and I'm leaning towards Marv. So Kupp and Marv.
All right, T-Rock.
I'm going to go with Kupp and Devontae Smith. I just have to trust that, the practices that Devontae got in, like he's a full go and he's back. So I'd rather them go with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, I think, is their 2 best options. And, yeah, you can't sit Kupp.
I'm going to go Kupp and Marv here for me. I like Addison too. So, like, Addison and Marv are kind of close. Smith, I just don't know how much they're going to need him against Carolina. So, yeah, I'm kind of iffy on that one. So I'm going to go Kupp and Marv here for me. I did get a super chat here from Bruce. Bench 1 of Purdy, Levis, Winston. I benched Winston for Purdy last week, so having PTSD with this decision. Thanks all for your help this year. I think I would sit Levis in this one. I'm playing Winston. He's just been throwing for like 7,000 yards a game. Yeah. And Purdy's at home against Chicago. Even without CMC, I think they might have to lean on Purdy a little bit more in this game. So I'm going to go Purdy and Winston personally. What about you guys?
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking of sitting Winston, even though it's at Pittsburgh. Levis is at home versus Jacksonville defense. I think they're close, but I would have gone Levis and Purdy and sitting Winston.
Okay.
The Jaguars-Titans game, I think, is the lowest on the slate as far as total. They're not projecting.
The Jaguars aren't going to score shit.
And the Titans either. I think they have it at 40 points.
Both middle linebackers are out for the Titans, so I could see the Jags being able to run the ball a little bit today. So we'll see how that happens. All right, let's go back up here. Jen has another one. Another league, Gross, says I need to start one of these running backs due to buys. Brooks, McCormick, Gus Edwards, or Travis Homer PPR. Who do you got here, T-Rock?
So I have Brooks at 32. I have McCormick at 24. I have Gus at 30. And I have Homer. I don't think I have Homer on the list, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go with McCormick and Gus. Yeah.
You just got to pick one. So McCormick.
McCormick. Yeah.
All right. And Matt?
That was the one that popped out to me, McCormick.
Yeah, that's who I'm starting in a lot of my leagues. Like, I sat Chuba Hubbard to play McCormick today. Like, Chuba Hubbard, I don't think is going to do very good against the Eagles, so I'll play McCormick over him.
Oh, man. They're back-to-back for me. Yeah, it's close.
Jay has one. Pick 1, 2 PPR for tight end, or no tight end premium. JSN, Brian Thomas Jr., Hawkinson, or Tyreek Hill. So, Matt, who you got here?
I mean, I don't know if I could ever sit Tyreek Hill. I know he hasn't been stellar this whole entire season. Let me just look at something real quick. But yeah, I mean, it's Tyreek Hill. You got to play Tyreek Hill. Is that or JSN was the other one that I was looking at, that I was debating? But Tyreek Hill, I have him higher.
All right, T-Rock.
I can see T-Rock smiling. He's going to go JSN.
I am going to go JSN. I have JSN at 10. I have Tyreek at 13. So, He did have a great game last week, Tyreek Hill, but man, JSN has been really good.
He's been on fire.
So I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
JSN.
I'm going to go Tyreek Hill with no Sauce Gardner today. I think Tyreek Hill has a big game. He's just been getting fed the ball. So, yeah, I like Tyreek Hill at home in Miami. Give me Tyreek.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Dylan has one. Full PPR with news of Kincaid out for Buffalo and Pickens out. Who do you like better, Knox or Freiermuth? Bills game has the highest over-under. Pat more established nowadays. Personally, I would go Freiermuth here. I think he might be the actual number one option there, like as far as receivers and tight ends go. He's been having better weeks the last 2 weeks. Some of his best games of the season have come, so I'm definitely going to go Freiermuth here. How about you, Matt?
Same. Last 2 weeks, like you said, he's kind of picked it up a little bit. 7 targets last week, caught 6. So definitely being looked at a lot from Wilson. And then the week prior, he had 4 targets and 4 catches. So I just like the usage. Freiermuth.
All right, T-Rock?
Yeah, I'm going to go Freiermuth as well. I was just looking at Dawson Knox. When he does play for Kincaid, his best finish has been tight end 15. So he's still not even a tight end 1,
Okay.
and a lot of
That's
great games.
what a crazy drop off if you think about it, man, from where he was like a couple of years ago to when Kincaid started taking over that role.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't utilize the tight end that much
As much as they used to.
offense. It's just
they gave him a big contract extension and then drafted Kincaid. Nice job.
and then they drafted him in the first round and still don't use
They
him. really that much.
handed him a bag. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Adam's got one. Tyreek or DJ Moore? This is Tyreek for me, easy.
Let me see where I have more. I have more at 17, but yeah, I still have Tyreek ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, DJ Moore's banged up. I mean, Tyreek has a wrist injury, but he's been playing through it and been fine. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tyreek.
Tyreek.
All right, Double D has one here for us. Sincere McCormick or Roma Dunze in PPR. How about you, T-Rock? What do you got here?
I'm going to go McCormick. I don't have Rome in my wide receiver rankings until wide receiver 42. So I'm going to just go with the running back here.
All right, and Matt?
Sincere McCormick is where I'm leaning. I do like Rome. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a good game. But Sincere McCormick, I think just it's less risk. And this is the time of year where you just want to try to put, if you get a wide receiver 3 or 4, you want to have somebody a little bit more consistent. Running back is the way that I lean, just because it's a little bit more opportunities that they're going to get, and it's guaranteed opportunities.
All right, yep. I'm going with McCormick as well. I think Rome has just been kind of when he's been throwing to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore more often. So
there's just not that chemistry yet. They just keep.
I was going to say the same thing. The timing's off. It's like you look at the routes and it's like they're 2-3 yards, 5 yards apart from where the ball goes to where Rome is. It looks like they're just either timing's off, he's not running the right route, or running crisp enough, but they're just missing each other.
PPR need 2 of Charbonnet, Braylon Allen, DeAndre Swift, Adam Thielen. So Matt, who you got here for your 2?
We talked about Swift earlier. His injury and the extent of what they're going to use him does scare me off. So I'm leaning Braylon Allen and Charbonnet as the 2, even though it is PPR, full PPR. I see that, but those are the 2. Thielen would be 3rd. It's close between Charbonnet and Thielen, but
I'm going to go with Charbonnet is a top 12 play for me. So I'm definitely going to go with him. And I'm going to go with Swift, who I have 1 spot ahead of Braylon Allen. But
okay, I'm going to go Charbonnet and Braylon Allen here for me. Swift, I don't really trust against a tough San Francisco defense. Thielen's got a good match, or not a good matchup, a tougher matchup. So I don't really trust him. So I'm going to go Charbonnet and Braylon Allen for sure on this one. Start Winston over Derek Carr. I think I would. What about you guys?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you only live once. Go Winston. YOLO ball.
yeah, I have Winston ahead of Carr as well.
Okay. All right. Next one up here. Jen asked Calcaterra or Fant. Who would you guys have there? Matt?
Calcaterra.
Yeah.
Calcaterra.
Man, Noah Fant hasn't done shit this season.
Yeah, he hasn't done really too much. Yeah, I think I would probably lean Calcaterra here too, but it's really close. Like, could probably just flip a coin, honestly.
Yep.
Gator J asked Noah Gray or Dawson Knox. I'm definitely going Noah Gray.
I'm going
Noah
Gray as
Gray.
well.
So
Yeah.
in half PPR last 3 weeks, 9.8 points last week. Week prior, 22.6 points. Week prior to that, 18.3 for Noah Gray. Noah Gray is taking over that tight end spot.
Yeah.
Another one he asked, would you go Levis or Geno this week? So T-Rock, who you got there?
Gino very, very easily over Levis.
All right. And then Matt?
Agreed. Geno over Levis. Or yeah, Geno over Levis. Almost said it backwards.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to go Geno over Levis as well. Axis asks one, McCormick or Abdullah? Yeah, definitely McCormick for me.
Yep.
He's getting the ball more.
Yep.
Okay. That one's easy. Ruckus, PPR, Braylon or Tracy? Thanks.
Shit.
Who you got here, Matt?
I'm leaning towards Braylon, but I think they're close in my opinion. See, what do you got?
See, this has already been asked like 3 other times, and I'm like, I've been going
Different
Tracy the entire time, but now I kind of just, I don't know. I kind of want to just spread my picks and just go with Braylon. So he could have a good game. He's getting most of the carries. I know it's against that Miami defense that's pretty underrated.
At Miami. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Braylon here. Just I can't trust the Giants, man. At least Jets have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Ish.
Yes.
Do they?
Yeah, I guess. I
Question
love
mark,
Aaron,
question
but
mark.
That's
he's
his
been pretty-
sabotage.
He's been pretty bad this year. All right, next one up. GK, PPR, Tracy or Charbonnet? I think this is Charbonnet, pretty easy.
Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Smash
Charbonnet, pretty easy. Orlando has one. What are we doing with Malik Neighbors today in a must-win situation? Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit ago. Yeah, who else do you have? But I'm sitting him. Like, I'd play Calvin Austin over him was my one.
Yeah, you don't want to go down with the ship playing Malik Neighbors, who hasn't done anything over the last month and a half.
Yeah, so I think we're all pretty
agreed.
much on Good.
Agreed. I was just gonna say Orlando too. Throw who else you have as options to sit him for, because that'd be also interesting to see. But I agree, if you got a heartbeat, it's worth sitting Malik.
Is Parker Washington still on waivers? Pick him up. Do something like over that. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay. GK has one. PPR, pick 2. Tracy, Charbonnet, Jacoby Myers. So kind of similar question. Matt, which 2 would you pick here?
Charbonnet for sure, and then I'm gonna go Jacoby Myers over Tracy. We've kind of talked a little bit about that offense. Jacoby's been getting a lot of targets because he's the only one in that receiving core that's worth throwing the ball to. And PPR gives it a little bit more of an edge for me. Myers and Charbonnet.
All right, T-Rock.
I'm going to go Charbonnet, and I'm going to go Myers, this time. You brought up some really good points earlier, Evie, about the Buccaneers defense getting completely lit up. And Jacoby Myers, he's the wide receiver 22 and wide receiver 9 usage this month. He's been really, really good. So I'm going to go with him.
Yep, I'm going to go Myers and Charbonnet here. Pretty easy for me on this one. Jen has another question here. Would you start any of these guys over CD Lamb, Tracy, Aaron Jones, Judy, or Charbonnet? Some really good options there, honestly.
Yeah,
there are actually.
So Matt, would you start any of those guys over Mr. Lamb?
My went directly to Charbonnet, to be honest with you, looking at that list. Judy's also been lighting the world on fire as well. I know last week he obviously had a monster game, but I think that was a prove it point to the team that he's playing against, his former team. So I lean Charbonnet. Just given that offense. Yeah.
I was saying, wow, the college committee actually kept Alabama out of the playoffs.
Oh, I thought you were saying, wow, to my answer. I was like, oh, thanks.
That's what I thought too.
Appreciate your support.
Wow, they put Alabama out. That's interesting. Okay.
They kicked out. Alabama's not in.
No, and they put SMU in over them.
Good. Screw Alabama. They didn't
So you have Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State, SMU, Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame was the first round.
Wow.
Indiana. Can you believe Indiana came out of nowhere, man? That's awesome.
Yep. All right, continuing on with this question here. Yeah, go ahead, T-Rock. Who you got?
I have Lamb very, very high against the Bengals defense. I have him top 5. I have Jared Judy at 11, so he can also keep killing it. But yeah, Charbonnet I also have as a top 12 play. I think it's between those 3.
Yeah, I think I gotta play Lamb too. Like he's been limited, he's been fine. Off the injury report, I think even too. So yeah, give me CD Lamb still on Monday night. It's not like Cooper Rush has been awful. He's been actually, better than like fucking Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, give me
Yeah.
Lamb
You have a
on
stellar
this one.
team, regardless. I mean,
Right.
those are your sit options. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lamb as well.
All right, here we got Garrett. Who are you benching from AJ Brown, Lamb, Kamara?
Oh my
0.5 PPR. Consider I'm also starting Hurts and Barkley. Conference championship game, 60 teamer, 5 copy league.
What?
I
What does that
think
mean?
there's 60 teams in the league. There's 5
12
copies of each
yeah.
player.
Yeah. 12 times 5 is 60. 12 teams.
Yeah, so
5 copies.
so it's a 12-team league basically with 5 copies of each player. So there's 5 AJ Browns, 5 Lambs, 5 Camaras. I'm in a couple leagues like that. Anyways,
Oh, wow.
I think I would sit Lamb in this case if I had to pick. I would go sit Lamb because I really think Kamara is literally all the Saints' offense, and Kamara should have a monster game. And then AJ Brown against Carolina. Give me AJ Brown.
I have AJ Brown as my wide receiver 1, Kamara as my running back 2, and Lamb as my wide receiver 2. So it's very, very close, but I'm going to go with benching Lamb as well.
Matt?
Same. It's crazy. Like, we don't really talk about Kamara, but like he's had a crazy year. He's number 5 of the year for running back.
If he can do it, this will be the first year he's ever had 1,000 rushing yards.
Dang,
But I mean,
believe that.
it's like the quietest assassin. I mean, nobody really talks about him that much in the like.
Yeah.
He's just like doing his thing and just kind of chugging along and crushing at 5.
Yeah.
Jimbo has one in a PPR league, needs one out of Jonnu Smith, Tyrone Tracy, and Braylon Allen. So T-Rock, what do you got here?
So I have Jonnu as my tight end 6, but it's hard to play him over the running back. So I both have as top 20 plays. So yeah, I'm just gonna pick. Fuck, we keep getting Tracy and Braylon Allen. I'm just gonna go with Tracy in this one.
All right, and what about you, Matt?
I'm leaning Jonnu, to be honest with you. He's been not even the points, man. Dude, this is targets in the past 3 weeks. 11 targets last week, 11 targets the week prior to that, 8 targets the week prior to that. From a fantasy scoring perspective and half PPR, 16 points last week, 19 the week before, and 25 the week before that. Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, he's been good.
Yeah, I'm going Jonnu as well in a PPR league. He's just been getting so much work. So mark that on the sheet, T-Rock, that you lost.
I will. Okay.
Big loss, T-Rock. Mark it down.
We'll wait to see.
This will be the
All
week
right,
that he gets 2 targets for Jonnu.
Tunchi's got one. Ferguson or Otten? This is a good one. What do you got here, Matt?
It is a good one. Since we talked about this previously, since Evans has been back, Otten's been kind of forgotten in that offense, so I go Ferguson.
Okay, T-Rock.
I'm going to go with Otten. I know he's been forgotten, but Ferguson's also coming off of an injury and hasn't played for a little while. So
yeah, it's just a concussion. He's fine. So I'm going to go Ferguson here. Yeah, mark that one on the sheet too. Me and Matt are going to get you on that one.
Oh, man. Coming in from behind.
All right, Tony's got another one. Braylon Allen or Najee Harris. T-Rock, what do you got here between Braylon and Najee?
I have Najee 6 spots ahead of Braylon Allen at 16. I'm going to go with Najee, especially with Pickett's out. You got to go with him.
Matt?
Same, Najee Harris. I know Cleveland's got a decent defense, but again, whenever they get to rivalry games like this, they run it a lot more. So I could see Najee having a pretty good game.
Talk about a player that's completely flipped the script since Russ has come in too. Najee's been way better with Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
so.
He didn't really do good against Cleveland in that snow game. Like he was getting stopped quite a bit. Jaylen Warren had the touchdown in that game, so that does worry me a tiny bit. But I think I'm still going to lean Najee here at home. So yeah, give me Najee.
Yeah.
Jimbo has one. Neighbors or Tolbert PPR. I think I would. That's not one of my thresholds, so I would go Neighbors over Tolbert.
Yeah,
agreed.
I'd rather just go down with
I mean, Tolbert's getting 2 catches a game. Like 2 for 19 is not going to cut it. Neighbors can get that on one drive.
And I think Cooks too ahead of yeah.
And I think T just put it perfectly. I mean, I think when we're talking about sitting neighbors, we're talking about sitting them for, viable sits, but you don't want to just sit him just for the sake of sitting him for somebody like Tolbert, and then have him, I'd rather lose with neighbors in this particular case than lose with Tolbert in my lineup.
Yep.
Agreed. All right. Golden Gods has one. Sincere or Calcaterra with a 0.5 tight end premium. Who do you have here, T-Rock?
Yeah, that tight end premium doesn't matter to me. I'm going to go Sincere over Calc.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm going to go McCormick, too.
Sincere.
Yep. All right. Orlando has another one. A 0.5 PPR, 1.5 tight end premium. I have Dowdle and Disley that I can plug in over Neighbors. I think I'd play both over Neighbors personally in these formats. How about you guys?
Same.
Yeah, I have Dowdle right outside the top running back plays. I have him at 13 this week, so I think he's been really good.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one, I would go Dowdle, just because he's been so damn good the last couple weeks.
Yeah, and I have Disley as a top 12 tight end play, so I'm going to play both those guys.
Okay. If you just had to choose one, would it be Dowdle?
Yes.
Very easily, yeah.
Okay. All right. Fizzle, yeah. If FSU missed themselves, like, what are they, 1-11 or something? Surprised they haven't fired their coach yet. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably already touched on this, but are you guys flexing Isaiah Davis over Gus Edwards in a point per carry league? Yeah. Who do you got here, T-Rock?
I have Gus 6 spots ahead of Isaiah Davis at 30.
Okay. T-Rock or Matt?
Same.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Gus. I've got Gus higher. Yep.
Yeah. Kamani Vidal's been getting a lot of work too. So they're both going to be basically 50-50 here.
That's a big coin flip.
I think I'm going to lean Isaiah Davis because I think the carries could be kind of similar. I could see like maybe 4 or 5 for Davis and Edwards gets 8 to 10. But then I could see Davis making up for it in the receiving game because I think they're going to throw to him more because he had like 3 or 4 catches last week. So I think I'm going to lean Isaiah Davis on this one personally.
So he had 1 rush attempt and 3 catches last week.
Yeah. So I think he could, with Breece Hall being out, I think he can, get a couple more carries, like I said, 4 to 5, and then catches hopefully similar, 3 or 4. And if he gets 30, 40 yards on that, I think I like Davis a little bit more over Gus.
But in his defense, Gus only had 6 carries and 1 catch.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Kamani Vidal is starting to cut into him a little bit. Plus, it's the Chiefs, a really good run defense. So, I think I'm going to lean Davis.
Good luck, Ryan C.
Yeah.
It's a close one.
It is close.
D-Walk, Theo Johnson, Komet, or Pitts? Well, it's definitely not Theo Johnson. He's on IR. So it's Komet or Pitts. Who do you guys have here? This is the most mid of mid tight ends I've benched everywhere. I don't think I'm starting these guys in any league. So who do you got between Pitts and Komet?
I'm going to go Komet.
That's actually what I was going to do. Sorry for an update, T. I was going to go Komet as well. Pitts has just been horribly disappointing. Komet's been a roller coaster ride, but there's a lot of DJ Moore was injured, was on the injury report the whole entire week. There's an opportunity for him to get more usage if DJ gets tweaked and banged up during the game. Komet.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go Komet as well. Yeah, I just don't trust Pitts. They've been cutting his snaps down. Basically, anytime they're running the ball, Pitts is off the field. So he's not even out there. He only had 33 snaps total last week. So give me Komet. He's out there all the time. Bench 2 here. Jennings, Devontae Smith, Ridley, Neighbors, Jacoby Myers. So which 2 are you benching here, Matt?
Let's take a look. This is a great opportunity. As we talked about Neighbors, I would definitely sit Neighbors. Would be 1. And then, it's tough. I'm leaning between. They've all been getting a lot of usage, man. They're all super close, dude. Go ahead, T.
Well, what you think on T-Rock? Go ahead. I
am going to sit Jacoby and Neighbors, those last 2 players that he's got there. Jennings, you guys already talked about earlier, that connection. He's going to be more the receiver X. Devontae Smith, I think, is back to being healthy, and Ridley has been insanely productive despite their situation. So, yeah.
All right, did you figure out your second one, Matt?
I was actually leaning sitting Smitty, but yeah, I'll go with T's same. So Myers and Neighbors.
All right, I'm gonna go Neighbors and Smith. Jennings. I really like today. Ridley's been getting the ball a ton, and Jacoby's been getting the ball a ton. So give me those three guys. Smith coming off the injury, and it seems like even when all these guys are rolling, he doesn't do shit anyway. So give me Jennings, Neighbors, and
you know what?
Jennings,
we need to make up.
Jacoby.
We need to make up grounds on T, so I'm gonna flip it. Eric, you convinced me. I'm gonna go with Eric on this. So sitting Smitty and Neighbors, which is where my initial thought went, and then T made me think differently.
All right, so it's 12:45. We need to roll through all these questions, so we need to get going here. Tommy's got one. Janu, Tyreek, Waddle need two of these in the flex PPR league. Slight tight end premium. So all three Dolphins. Which two are you starting with these settings? I'm gonna go Tyreek and Janu. They've been the best too for like
Tyreek and
multiple
Janu.
weeks. Yeah, how
Right
about
there
you,
with you guys.
Tyreek and Johnny.
Let's see. Ryan's got one. Maybe at the Cowboy wide receivers Turpin, and you had return points. Yep, that's a good possibility. That was for the lad question. What about Neighbors or Hopkins? Feel I need the highest ceiling. I'm gonna go Hopkins here.
Hopkins.
All right. PPR, Judy, Ridley, James Conner. I'm going Jerry Judy here.
I'm gonna go with Judy as well.
Okay. Full PPR, pick two, Chubb, Charbonnet, Najee, Tracy. I'm going to go Charbonnet and Najee.
Same.
Charbonnet and Najee.
Okay. Soggy has one. Hey, guys, pick one, full PPR, Braylon Allen or Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, we've had this one about 6 times. I think I'm going to choose Braylon Allen on this one.
Allen.
Same.
Okay. Gooner has one. Do I just play it safe and start Chuba and Braylon Allen over Ladd and Neighbors half PPR? Yeah, I probably would have to because those guys are 1 o'clocks and you're not going to have somebody for Ladd later. I'd probably play Chuba and Braylon and be safe. And half PPR too.
If you have no one else, like we talked about earlier, then play those first two. But.
Yeah. All right, another one from him. Braylon, Marvin, Tracy, or Malik Neighbors, half PPR, pick two. I'll go Marvin Harrison Jr. and Braylon Allen.
I'm going to go Marvin Harrison and Tracy.
And Braylon.
Okay. Let's see. Ryan C. Gonna play both. I'll sit Calcaterra for Ferguson, only 1.75. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
He meant Jatavian Sanders, not Theo. Jatavian just came back to. Tremble just had a really good game. I probably don't trust him, so I would go with our other answers from earlier.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. or Marvin Harrison Jr. Who do you guys got here? This is a good one.
I have Marvin Harrison. Ed.
Okay. Matt?
Brian Thomas.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Thomas as well, just slightly over Marv on this one. That's a close one. Coin flip.
It is close.
Mooney or Westbrook, full PPR. I'm going Westbrook, dude. The guy just scores touchdowns.
I'm going Mooney.
Mooney. I know Westbrook scores touchdowns, but that's like you got to roll the dice on that one. Mooney's been. I know he had an off game last week, but he's been stellar the whole entire season.
Well, he's been kind of shit lately, but Westbrook's had like 7 touchdowns in the last 8 weeks, so I'm definitely going Westbrook here. Do you think Ladd is going to play, or should I put in Jennings over him? You're putting Jennings in. Easy. Yeah,
Jennings,
that's an easy one. Am I crazy? Consider Chuba or Sincere McCormick? I benched. I talked about this earlier. I benched Chuba for McCormick in a couple leagues, so I'm going McCormick.
Yeah, I'm going to go McCormick as well.
Okay. Or should I leave Ladd, and if he doesn't play, I can pick up Quentin Johnson or get Brandon Cooks for Monday Night Football. So I think this is from this one. No, I would still play Jennings over all those
Jennings.
guys.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yep.
Okay.
I would be willing to try that. I would be willing to do that, actually. I'd hold out for Ladd just because Purdy hasn't been all that great over the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd still play Jennings over all of them. I'd probably play him over Ladd if Ladd was healthy, to be honest.
Okay.
So Ryan C has one. Westbrook, Akina, and
This
Noah
is
Gray,
crazy.
3-point tight end premium and big play bonuses. I mean, that's all Westbrook's been doing is big play bonuses too.
That's
so
right.
I think for 3-point tight end premium though, like Noah Gray's been like 3 or 4 catches every week, so that's your double digits there, basically. So I think I'm gonna lean Noah Gray with that tight end premium.
Same.
How
The
about you,
same.
Matt?
I mean,
Yeah.
3 points is like insane, but I mean, we talked about this earlier. I mean, the catches he had 4 catches the last 3 weeks, 4 each week. So that's 12 points right there just for catches. To your point, Eric.
Yep. Last one we got here. If you guys have any more, throw them in. We do have a couple more minutes. Garendo or Jameis in a super flex with a 0.25 per carry. I'm still going Jameis. The dude's been throwing 400 yards a fucking game.
Yeah, by a long shot, you don't get too cute.
Lighting the world on fire, Jameis.
Yeah. I mean, I would still try and find a way to put Garendo into your lineup. So, Johnny, maybe if you have a minute, post your other running backs or other players that you're playing. Because I would probably start Garendo over a lot of receivers, too. So, if you have a minute, go ahead, throw them in there. Let's see. Dave has one. Sorry for last minute one, but super flex, you're starting Russell Wilson or Herbert. Both have limited weapons.
Herbert.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Herbert, too. He's been playing really good. I mean, so is Russ, but I think I'm going to go Herbert still.
Herbert. Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Ryan has, that was my lean. Gray is averaging like 15 to 20 the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I agree. Another one here. Sit one. Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Braylon Allen, or Rico Dowdle. Ooh.
Keenan probably for me. Let me just check.
Yeah, Keenan's been awesome.
He's been getting
couple
all the
weeks.
targets, man. He's been the offense.
I think I would lean Braylon Allen is who I would say.
That's where my head was going, Eric. Either him or Rico, and I know Rico's been on fire, so that's why I give Rico the edge. But yeah, one of the running backs.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my initial thought. I'm gonna set Keenan.
Okay.
Write it down.
All right, we'll do our classic little, who do we think can be the top quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end of the day? So quarterback, who do you guys got? Who's the top quarterback today?
Hurts. Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to absolutely smash. I think they're projected for the most points of any game in 3 years. They project the Eagles to absolutely demolish the Panthers today.
All right, Matt.
I mean, my heart went to Hurts, but I mean, he's just been kind of so disappointing the past couple of weeks. But yeah, Hurts against the Carolina defense, they're going to just light him on fire.
Yeah, I think he has a good game. I think I'm going to go Josh Allen. I think that Rams and Bills game is going to kind of be a little bit of a shootout. So I'm going to go Josh Allen in this for that one. Running back, who do you guys got at running back?
Saquon,
yeah.
Alvin Kamara.
Kamara, that's why I was leaning Kamara. I think Kamara has a monster game. Receiver, who do you guys got at receiver?
I think A.J. Brown finally gets loose today.
AJ, okay. Matt?
I'm going to go the Jet, man.
Jefferson.
I know he's been a little slow recently, but against Atlanta, I think he puts on his boosters.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with T-Rock. I'm going to go A.J. Brown. And then tight end, who you guys got at the tight end spot?
Bowers.
Rock the Bowers.
Yeah, Bowers is a really good choice. Man, let's see.
Either him or Johnny would be my two choices. I think those three.
Yeah, Johnny's been great. I'm gonna go Trey McBride. That guy's been on fire too, so I'll go Trey McBride. Give somebody different.
Nice.
All right, Johnny did get back to us. He is starting Monty, Barkley, Aaron Jones, and Kamara, which leaves Captain Crab Legs or Garendo in the super flex spot. Aaron Jones has been kind of shitty lately. I think I might play Garendo over Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Let me just check to see where I got.
I would. Garendo over Aaron Jones for sure.
I have Aaron Jones one spot ahead of Garendo. We just don't know what Garendo's going to look like. We've only seen him in spurts or when he's come in for an injured running back. So sometimes that disappoints us. So I want to get two over.
I mean, Matt's the resident Bears fan, and he said they've been just getting lit up on the run game.
Dude, so. it's like I'm talking like chunks, like 7-8 yards of play. It's pathetic.
That's where Garendo would live too. So I think I'm going to go Garendo over Aaron Jones for you, Johnny, personally.
And it's straight up the middle too. It's not like they're doing like these like rushes that are to the outside. They're doing like zone runs. They're just literally running right down the Bears' throat, and they can't stop anybody.
If you're leaning Aaron Jones, go with that. but whatever.
Last one here, non-PPR, pick 2 wide receivers and 1 running back, then a flex. So DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., Ridley, Najee, Braylon Allen, Garendo. So who would be your 2 receivers you guys are picking here?
Moore and Ridley for me.
Those are the 2 that I had. Yeah, they're close.
Yeah, I think I go Moore and Ridley as well. My 1 running back, I think I would go Garendo.
Najee for me.
I was gonna go Najee. Yeah. And then you can flex Garendo.
Najee sucking against Cleveland kind of scared me, so I think I'm going to go Garendo. But then when you go to the flex, I'd probably throw Najee in.
Are they playing in a snowball again or snow globe?
No. All the weather games are good today, so no weather.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with Najee. He's been really good.
Yeah, so I think we all have the same. We all have the same. Moore, Ridley, Najee, Garendo would be your 4 guys that you're starting. So that's who we're going with. All right, that is it for this week, guys. Good luck on getting into the playoffs, locking up that 1 seed, hopefully. But good luck to everybody. Yeah, if you're in the Scott Fish Bowl still, like myself and Matt, good luck. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting day here with a lot of injuries, a lot of different ones. 6 teams on bye. We forgot to mention that kind of too. So going to be a different week for fantasy. You're going to have a lot of guys that you're starting that you're normally not starting. So you're going to have some guys in your lineup that you shouldn't. But
and if you get knocked out
next week is
playoffs, then you can just not worry about setting your lineups for the rest of the year. Just take
next week's crunch is the real crunch time. It's playoffs. So.
Playoffs.
So, yeah. So, all right, guys. Appreciate everybody tapping in. We will be back next week for week 15. See ya.
Oh, yeah. Good luck, everyone.